Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Final Whistle. We are back after a break. The guys are back again. As you can see, we have Sims repping Liverpool. We got Fred, Arsenal. We got Yaga with United and Derek with Chelsea. I'm also Chelsea, as you can see. The season starts next week, guys, and there's been a lot of business, as you can see. Liverpool has done a lot. Arsenal have, United have, Chelsea have. Everybody is gearing up for the new season. So we're here to talk about it all. And before we start, I just want to say congrats to Chelsea winning the Club World Cup because we didn't record when this happened. So I just wanted to throw it out there. We are the best club in the world, as the title shows. So I just wanted to put it out there before we start anything else. Liverpool did win the league, and Liverpool are the current champions of the Premier League. Sims is here to tell us why they're going to repeat or why they are rebuilding. So Sims, Liverpool have done a lot of work. You guys have have tried to get. I mean, you got in Verts, you got in the frame point, you got in Kirkes, you got in. You're trying to be greedy and get Isak. There's a lot of talk going on in Liverpool. It seems like there's a lot. Even though you lost you lost the Community Shield today, there's still, you guys still have a solid team coming up. What is your expectation of Liverpool? How this transfer window went? How obviously last season went, and what you expect coming this season?
Yeah, so to begin, last season, even though we won the league, I still felt like it was a disappointing season because we really wanted the Champions League. That's what we were aiming for. However, we fell short. So I think this season, our focus is to win the Champions League, which was very apparent by the signings that we, signed this summer. I still think that we need a center back. I'm not the biggest fan of Konate, and even with Gomez, I still think that if we can get Mark from Crystal Palace, he will be a great partner with Virgil. As far as the signings, I really like Frimpong. I still feel like he has to adapt to the physicality of the EPL. With Kirkes, he's already has the experience, so I think he's going to fit right in. Our midfield, with the addition of Words, it makes up for the loss of Trent, so I'm pretty excited about that. Our forwards, with Gakpo, I think Gakpo is going to have a hell of a season. He has a lot to prove, and he definitely doesn't want to get dropped, and especially with us losing Diaz, I think he's going to step up and continue to deliver for us. As far as Hugo, I like him, but I'm still not convinced. I'll probably have a better opinion of him, maybe like in late November. I want to see how well he does and how well he adapts to the pace and the physicality of the EPL. And of course, we have our star player Mo Salah. I think he's going to continue to deliver for us. Having Wirtz is definitely going to create, a lot more tap-ins for him. I know you guys love it when he taps in his goals. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for the season. I think we're going to be top. I don't like to say that we're going to win the league because the league is going to be tough this year with Chelsea, Arsenal finally getting their number 9. And City having Rodri back. So it's going to be a tough season, but I think we go all out for the Champions League, and that's what I'm very excited for and hoping that we get. I don't really care for any other title.
So the Champions League is your main objective this year?
Yeah, definitely.
Above everything else. So
Above
do you
everything.
think, I know you spoke about Ekitike and holding out judgment because obviously he's young, he's coming to a new league, right? So he's going to need time. Do you want Liverpool's tail to chase Isak? Is that a guy that you
Oh
think if we
yeah.
get him, you'll be much more comfortable saying,
Oh
"Oh, the
yeah.
Champions League is ours"?
Oh yeah, I mean, Isak has proven himself in the Premier League, and I think he wants that challenge of coming to a better club like Liverpool, and also getting the chance to play, in the Champions League. Not that Newcastle, is a bad club or anything like that, but I think he wants to cement his name in a club like Liverpool, and us getting Isak makes us a lot better. Again, Hugo, he's good. But Isak is a finisher, yeah, and he brings a different type of attack. And with him and Salah, up top, is gonna be a nightmare for the defenders, of the other teams. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I think we should still get him. And injuries happen. Injuries
yeah,
happen. So
yeah.
having someone like him as a backup or anything like that, I think Chale, we need him. So I hope we get him though. So
No, I mean, especially what losing, obviously Darwin Nunez is going to the Saudi league, right? And the unfortunate passing of Jota, it looks like you need somebody else. Like you kind of thin in that striker position, right? Because you don't.
yeah,
I know Gakpo played there a bit on the club, but it doesn't feel like Gakpo feels comfortable playing as a striker, right? It looks like he's more comfortable on that left wing, and it
the
feels like
left wing.
most of
Yeah,
his goal production comes from the left wing. So he can be a makeshift, center forward, but you kind of still need somebody, right? To at
we
least,
need
even
that.
if it's
Yeah,
at least somebody else that's a proper striker, right?
yeah. And also, I'm not sure if you guys have been watching some of our preseason, but we have a youngster called Rio.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing very well. I really hope that not Klopp, Slot gives him more chances throughout the season because I think he has a lot to prove. Given more game time, I think he's going to be a problem in a few years. So
Yeah, he's
So,
definitely looked good. Okay, so
so, so now I had a quick question for Sims. How do you see Isaac and Ikatike fit into the same team if you do get him?
I think it's going to be one of those things where like one of them is going to have to bench, and I think Slot will be a lot more comfortable. Again, it depends on who we're playing, but I think with Hugo coming into the team and Isak already proving himself, in the Premier League, I wouldn't be surprised if Isak gets to start ahead of Hugo. And then depending on how the game goes, as we saw last year, Slot isn't afraid to pull anybody off. If you're not performing, you're getting subbed
except for
out.
Salah, of course. No,
Yeah, except for Salah.
I never saw
You
him take
know,
Salah off, even when you were up like 5-0.
yeah, so I think it can still work out. And also, that's what makes, stars stars. They're able to adapt to anything. So, and once we sign those players, I think they already know that any position in the front three, they have to be willing to play.
Fred, what do you think about Liverpool's chances this season? And I know obviously they beat you guys to win the league.
Or Liverpool, they have no chance winning the league this season, honestly.
Why do you say that?
Because what I believe is their coach, Slot, he won the league based on the job Klopp did for him. Now, he have a whole season now. He buying the players he's going to use for the season. So now he about to face the real EPL. So I don't think they will be winning the EPL this season.
Okay, so you
So,
think
Fred,
because Klopp
I
has
have a
brought his own players in?
Yeah, now you've lost Jota. You
Okay,
lost Luis Diaz. And now you think this guy to Nunes.
Trent is gone too.
Yes. So now you went to the market, you bought your own players. Today I watched their game. How Trent been playing is not how Frimpong is playing now. How Gapo is playing is not how Luis Diaz playing. Now you need a proper upfront striker. Now you have Ikiteki or whatever they call him. You have him. Um, you have you buying Isaac. You won't buy Isaac 150 million pounds player to come and bet him. And how much did they buy Ikiteki? They
80
bought
million.
him. Yes, it want to prove something. So it's going to be a lot of conflict in their team.
Yeah.
Van Dijk and Konate cannot play a whole season without injury. That's a fact. Who is going to replace him? Like he said, they need a proper centre back. So they are going to face a whole lot of hell this season. Now Slot is coming to play his own style, his own players he bought. So it's
The
not going to be
honeymoon
easy
season
for
is
them.
over, huh? The honeymoon period is over.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I like how Iago is
No,
quiet the whole time.
no, but actually, fair point that Fred made. Even though it's funny, Fred is making some good points, and I think
Yeah,
that's fair,
yeah.
right? That's fair. But Derek, what do you think? Like, are you with Fred with what he's saying, or are you like, what do you say?
To some degree, I do. So let's start with the transfer window. To me, I think they had the best transfer window this year of all the
Even
EPL
without
player
Isak.
teams. even without Isak, I think that they fortified the back. They have some pretty good prospects for the top two, so which is really good. But to Fred's point, while those are good signings, we're yet to see if they can actually fit in seamlessly to give them the results that they're going to get. And I think that's a big question mark. For me, I think that they're going to be a phenomenal team. Do I think they're going to win the league? That's a question mark. I don't think so. I wouldn't put my money on Liverpool this year. I think that they still have some defensive issues that they have to watch. We saw that in the Palace game, even last year when Chelsea wasn't so good and we played them. I was like, if we had better forwards, we could actually beat this Liverpool team.
That
Sometimes when
was the
I would watch
consistent
them.
thing, right? Derek, that was a consistent thing last year. It seems like, I think, even though Liverpool won the league, they weren't excellent. It
Yeah,
seems
Right.
like
They
that's
yeah,
what
were. Yeah.
right. That's what like, and it
yeah,
seems like
yeah,
seems to be as well. Like, yeah.
yeah. And I mean, and I think that the teams that could have actually been real contenders also lost luster during the season. And so
Hmm.
it almost became like, okay, anybody that could keep a good level of consistency could make it to the end. And so that's my feeling about them. Those something that Sims had said about Mohamed Salah. I kind of disagree. I think that Salah, it feels like he's out of place now, in my opinion. I think that he's slower. I think that he's less effective, missed two penalties in the last two games. I think he almost feels lost in the game. It's almost like he needs things to be put on the silver platter for him to do something with it. I don't think
Hmm.
that's not where you're going to win the league with. I think you need people who are fighting and actually making a difference. And this
Yeah,
is
but
Mohamed Salah. And I'm sorry, he is Mohamed Salah. But from what I see in recent form, he's not showing what I want to see, right? And it makes me
right.
question if, you need somebody there, right?
He did.
But
He
that's
did
that's my
finish the
thoughts, yeah.
season. Yeah, he did finish the season not in a great form, but that was after the league was already won, and obviously it's preseason. So I don't know. I find it hard to count him out because
Count
of
him
how
out.
consistent he's been.
I know.
Right,
Yeah.
season scoring 20 something goals and 18 something assists, like something ridiculous like that, right? So I know he hasn't had the best of forms, and a lot of people are saying now that he got his money, everything is going downhill. But it feels
Yeah.
like we always been waiting for that day to happen, and
And
it
it's
hasn't
never
happened
happened.
yet.
Yeah.
So
And
when you
Yeah.
one thing too, we haven't realized it. Salah too want to win the Golden Boot, bringing it. Isak too want to win it. So it's going to be a competition between both of them,
which I think is great.
which is it will bring the selfish to
let
the
me
players. They will be
let me
I
get
think I
Yaga
selfish.
in
think
here. Let me get Yaga in here real quick before let's
Okay.
get Yaga's thoughts on the Liverpool thing first.
me, I second what Derek said about Liverpool having the best transfer so far. I think they do. It's just a point of. It's just a matter of these players proving what the decision made to bring them in, right? Because if Frimpong is a great wing back, right? But then I don't know if, as Sims stated, the physicality, right, of the Premier League. I don't know if it suits him. Now, if it works out for him, that's perfect. Kekes is absolutely, I guess, one of the best left backs last season. So he's gonna fit in right in. You have Wets, Florent Wets. If it works out, that's a perfect, midfielder. And then you have Ikitike. Who I think he has some work to do, but he's a brilliant striker. But he has some work to do as well because he's very young. So if you look at these signings, amazing signings so far. I also think that I don't know if they're gonna actually be on that same consistent level as they were last year. Because as we all said, most of the other teams, Arsenal and City, weren't, really competing with them. So it made it quite easy for them to win the league. Now, Slot is pretty much identical in a way to Klopp's system. Yes, he won the league because of Klopp's players. I don't think that's the reason why. I think there was something about him as well. You can't just come in and win because say all you want to say, but Klopp won the league once as well in 7, 8 years. So you can't make it seem like he just came in and just won the league off Klopp players, right? So
Yeah,
if,
but the
if,
Klopp
if it was
one was
something like it,
unfortunate, right?
what'd you say?
Klopp had like 95 points and didn't win the league. That's you know.
Yeah, but he still didn't win it. He only won it once.
That time the league was competitive than
Okay,
last season.
but Fred, I'm just going by your point you made, right? We have to give him credit. We can't just go like he just came in the team and then they just won. We have to give
What credit are
Slot.
you giving him? What credit are you giving him? The
He came
players were
in,
there already. The
made
team has been built for the past 3 years. So what credit are you giving him?
okay. Okay, it's been built for the past
So
three
do you
years.
know? I have a question for you.
Okay,
So do you know Liverpool didn't know who gonna take over after Klopp? They knew the guy was gonna. So he was also studying Klopp whilst he
Okay.
was at Ajax.
Okay.
So
No,
he was like,
I don't
okay,
think I asked. I think
Leipzig.
PSG are.
Leipzig,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. But okay,
okay,
I get
fine.
your point. I'm not saying that he this is what I'm saying. We have
Mm,
to still give him some credit,
mhm.
regardless of how it looked, right? Because Klopp only won the league once. So don't make it seem like he won the league 5 times and then he just came and then won the league again.
And Jeff told
That's all
you
I'm
he
saying.
had 95 points at the point, but couldn't
Okay,
win.
but you
Yeah,
didn't win it.
I
We
mean,
don't,
which is it still went. Yeah,
but
we
you
still
still
have to
didn't
give him
win it.
credit, but
We still
yeah,
have to give him
let's.
credit because
Okay,
that
Yeah,
same
y'all can
team.
give him the credit, but I'm not gonna give him that credit.
But see, that same team that he had set 95 points had the same coach and he couldn't get a 90
See,
96 or whatever.
last season, how many times Saints
guys, hold
posted
on,
in the
hold on,
group
hold on, hold
said
on. We're gonna run out of time, so I
Slot is
want to
not a
put a
good
bow on
coach.
this Liverpool one.
So let me finish my statement, right? So I was saying
No, let me
again,
ask
I
you.
don't think yeah, I don't think I think we need to give Slot some credit. Now, as we all said, he signed almost 4 or 5 players, right? So now we're gonna see how he can implement his new players into his new system. I don't think he's gonna play the same club system he played last year. So let's see. I mean, do I think that they can win it? Yeah, they can win it. Do I think they'll win it? That's a big question mark. Because now all the other
Well,
teams have strengthened up. Chelsea has, Arsenal
Hmm.
has, City is also gonna be contending as well. So let's see. If they win again, I wouldn't be too surprised. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I wouldn't be too surprised.
the last question before our recording is end is I need everybody's top six. So you guys got to make up your mind because the only person who's giving me a definite answer is Fred. Everybody else is I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So think about it, and then at the end of this recording, I'll ask for everybody's top six. But let's move on to the next team because we spent a lot of time on Liverpool. Arsenal finished second last year. Arsenal have been consistently the second place team for the last 3 years. Arsenal and their fans have been telling us that they need a striker. They finally got the striker. They got Gyökeres. The guy scores goals for fun, right? I was before I put this to. I will say this: I don't have any doubt that Gyökeres will score goals because I don't care if he plays in the Portuguese league because we've seen this thing where a lot of players from the Portuguese league have come into the Premier League and then flopped. Like
Look
there's
at
a
Fred.
laundry list of players, right? No, there's a laundry list of players from Nunez to there's a guy called Vinicius, and then there's a lot of them, right? So the track record is not good for Gyökeres. But I think with this Arsenal team, they will create enough chances where the guy will get goals. Because if Havertz can get 13 goals and he's not a striker, and Marino can get 9 goals and he's a defensive midfielder, you know for sure that Gyökeres will score at least
and now even he's gonna
close to
take our
15 goals.
penalties for us. So yeah.
Exactly, right? So, like, he will score goals. The question I have for him is this: is he going to score the goals consistent enough? Because the problem with Havertz was he's scoring goals periodically, but you need the guy that's going to give you a goal, 2 goals every 3 games. Like, some kind of consistency where, because you cannot afford to have a bad game, then you drop 2 points or you drop 3 points. That's where my question is with him. But, Fred, let me come to you. What do you think about this window? Because it wasn't. If we recorded this last month, you guys were not happy because the only person you were linked with was Madueke. But you finally got Gyökeres. He got his goal. He took his goal really well. That's a striker's goal, right? What do you think about this season and what you expect from your squad? Because you needed the striker and you finally got him. So I don't know what other excuses you guys have, unless you have one. What do you think about this season that's
So
coming up, Fred?
I'm not expecting much from Ateta because he has been working with this team for the past 3 seasons, being finishing second on 3 seasons on the row. So now we were crying for a striker, as you said. They got us the striker. Now you have the apparatus. Work with the apparatus, win us something. So my concern is more on Ateta this season. And per what I saw during our preseason games, bro, I don't have one faith in him. I don't have one
Okay.
faith in him winning this.
Is this still Fred talking or that's somebody else talking?
Derek, it's me. It's me. It's me. It's me, Derek. It's me,
No,
Fred.
but what's the reason?
Because
Though? What's the
my
reason?
reason is, bro, nothing has changed. Nothing. If I don't know his plan B. Honestly, I don't know his plan B. When Arsenal got locked up, we are locked forever. We can't break any other team if they know our system, they know how we play our game. So my concern is about his plan B.
Mm-hmm.
About his plan B. Ateta don't have no plan B. Last season we were depending on set pieces to win games, which is wrong. Now you have the striker. We have the striker. I've given him up to November. If he's still our coach, fine. But I don't foresee Arteta taking us at the end of the season. Honestly.
Yeah.
Now you have the striker, you have your defenders, you have your midfielders. You brought in Zubimendi, Nordgaard, Gokeres. You brought Nuni Madueke. Like you have all the players you requested now. So you have no excuse. Now I'm not looking at FA Cup. I'm not looking at Carabao Cup. I'm looking at Champions League and the EPL. That's what I'm looking forward for.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. So if you fail to win those 2 trophies, bro, you out.
Why is
One of
Yaga
them,
cracking up?
right?
Why is Yaga
It's not
cracking
one
up?
of those two, or not both
Yes.
together. Just one of
No,
those two.
he can't win both. Last season,
Okay.
we got closer to the Champions League, but the team that kicked us out won the Champions League, so that's fine. We went to Madrid to win at home and away, which was fantastic, but without a striker.
Mm-hmm.
So now Partey is no more. Now you have Zubimendi in, which is excellent player. You brought him. Arteta, whatever. I don't remember the last time Arsenal did this transfer good in this good in transfer market like this season. No.
True.
So now I don't know his excuse. What I want him to find is find a plan B. Find a plan B. Because last season too, what kills our team was we were not having a strong bench. We were not. So now when you come to our bench now, we have Gabriel Jesus over there. We have Havertz in our bench. We have Nordgaard, Mikel Merino. We have Trossard, Nuni Madueke. So it's like we have Kepa too. So now he have no excuse to win the Champions League or the EPL.
Okay. So Sims, what are your thoughts? Because I mean, I'm surprised because Fred did tell us in the group chat that he wasn't sure just based on the preseason. So I'm not surprised what he's saying now. There could be a bit of Yagarin where it's like he's playing it safe, so in case it goes well, he's good. But he's not gonna come out and put it on record because we get receipts. But Sims, what do you think? Is this fair? Is it fair that Fred is the position that he's taken? I mean, being as fair as possible.
I mean, I think it's definitely fair, and given Arsenal's track record, he's definitely playing it safe. But I think it was Don that said something about Liverpool having the best transfer season this summer. I disagree with him. I think Arsenal has the best transfer season because they really filled their missing pieces. Everyone's always talking about Arsenal missing their number 9, and they finally got, a guy, like you said, scores goals for fun. They replaced Partey with Zubimendi, and as well as, Ebe's favorite guy from Chelsea, Nani. So I think this season, it's going to be Arteta's like last season. If he doesn't win anything, he's going to be gone. You get me? Because they have a great system of players that have grown together, from Saka to Odegaard to even Lewis Kelly. You get me? So with these additions that they've signed, like they have to go all out this season. Like they have to win at least the Premier League.
Oh yeah, not the FA Cup, not
we don't care about that.
So let me throw this question, right? Let me throw this question, Sims. What will have to happen for them to fight? And I'm going to ask you the same question, Fred. What would have to happen for them to fire Arteta during the season? Like, where would Arsenal have to be where it'd be like he needs to go?
Yeah. Do you want me to answer first or Fred?
Yeah, let Sims go and then Fred, I'll ask you.
So I think for Arsenal to finally be fed up with Arteta is if they lose games against like Man United, like the top teams. I think if he has a terrible record against those teams, I think people are gonna be like, Charlie, you gotta go, man. Because
so let's just say if December comes, let's say Boxing Day fixtures and Arsenal are 4th, is Arteta fired?
I don't think. I don't think he's gonna be fired at 4th.
Bro, December is where you win the league.
No, but
December.
Fred, right?
That's where you win the league.
It depends on if they're 4th, right? How far away they're from the top 2. You get me?
Exactly. That's what. Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah. So if he's like, if it's like if Liverpool, or even Man City, if we're like 10 points, or if there's a big gap, I think they're just gonna be like, all right, Arteta, Charlie, thank you for everything. You're out, and then they'll bring somebody in and they throw away the season. But if it's
you think
like
10 is the magic number, Fred? If 10 points in December, you think Arteta is out?
Mine is not even 10 points. If it's even 5 points, it's 5 points. Because, bro, all you've been crying for, you have it now. So what is your excuse?
Right.
What
But
is your
Fred,
excuse?
what we need to understand that these guys got to adapt as well, right? It's gonna take time. I mean, I don't see them firing Arteta in December. I think probably unless it's very drastic, eighth position or ninth position, and then the difference is crazy. But then I think Arteta is gonna go onto the end of the season, and they'll have a season review. That's what I think. I don't think they're gonna fire Arteta. No, after
So
giving her all that, nah.
All right, we live to see.
on that point though, Yago, what do you think about Arsenal's, like, just finishing that thought? What do you think about their transfer window and what they did, and
No,
what do you expect from them this season?
I mean, the transfer window has been pretty good. It's been pretty good, as Sim said. Yeah, it's been pretty good. They brought in all the missing pieces, right? Which is perfect. They have the striker now, and now when it comes to the forward lineup, right? They have Gokeres, who is lethal, and then they can also bring in Gabriel Jesus. Let's not forget about him. And then what's his name? Kai Havertz. So you have three strikers up front. So there's no complaints here. You can't make complaints as far as having strikers. And then all the other players have been playing together for 5-6 years. They've been playing for a long time. So I think this is the final straw. If he doesn't win it, I think he's gonna get fired at the end of the season. But then I think they've done a pretty decent job with the transfers, and I think this is the season for them. I genuinely feel so. I think it's gonna happen this year. If not, that is out.
So Derek,
One
just to
one
keep this
thing
up
one thing one thing I'll end up with is when Ateta came to Arsenal first and his first season. I think it was the COVID time.
Probably won the FA Cup.
He had a very rough season, and then they asked his dad, which is Pep, about Ateta being get sacked from Arsenal. No, Mikel, he's a very, very good coach. If they give him long time, blah blah blah. Yes, but when this guy Enzo coming to Chelsea, he didn't talk about him, not knowing that guy is very good than Ateta. They gave us fake mini Pep. They gave us fake mini Pep.
right.
Yeah, so Jeff,
Derek, right, let Derek finish this so that we can move on. Derek, what are your thoughts about Arsenal? And are you sharing the same pessimism as Fred, or is there some optimism here?
Yeah,
Because they've
a
been
little
very
bit of.
good for a long time.
Yeah, so I'll make this quick. I share in the sentiment, Fred's sentiment about I don't believe that Arsenal can play any differently than we've seen to this point. And that's what scares me. Because if a team cannot adapt or have a different plan when something is challenging, then it makes you feel that, okay, are they really true champions? Because a true champion is someone that can change things around and make things work for them. I feel like at this point in time, bringing in Gyökeres, that's great, great signing. But let's ask ourselves this question. When they didn't have a forward, all the makeshift forwards they put in actually put out some pretty good numbers. So I feel like if Gyökeres comes to take that role and gathers all those numbers for
Yep.
himself, that
Yep.
still doesn't take Arsenal any further. He basically just, occupy it and becomes prolific. And that's the part that becomes a bit questionable. Do I think that they can win the league? I think if we get the Arsenal that we know, that they're probably going to finish in the top three and not make it all the way to the top because now they're probably thinking about Champions League. If they don't manage things properly and they have divided attention, then they might lose both of them. And so for this to work for them, I think they probably also need somebody to cover for Martinelli because that's always been a question for that left wing. They need somebody that is as clinical and better suited like they have on the right for Saka. And I think none of the new signings they
So for
have
that's going
actually
to do
quite fit that
Madueke.
role.
Why are you
Well, I
disrespecting
don't think
Madueke?
I don't expect him to do anything super different from what we have seen in the past. I think he'll do well, but he will make a difference, in my opinion. And so that's kind of my feeling for Arsenal.
Okay. Before we move on, I'm just going to add that I there is something about their squad that I do think there is a potential of them doing it this year. And the reason why is, and Yaga just mentioned it, I think they have a little bit of depth in the striker position that we're not mentioning. I know Gabriel Jesus hasn't been great. That's the reason why they needed Jokeres in the first place, because if Jesus was any better, they wouldn't be asking for a striker. And, you know, Kai Havertz can do a job for you as a striker. I think Arteta has done an excellent job, and I find it very, very hard to fire the guy that has brought Arsenal from where they are to now, right? So, but I
but you
also
are not winning
understand.
anything.
Yes, yes, and I also
Yeah.
understand what Fred is saying. It gets to a point where the guy probably has gotten you as far as he can, and you may need somebody
Mm,
else to take you
mm,
over the line. And that's also fair, right? Like both things can be true where it's like he can be an excellent manager, but he's probably reached his absolute limit and you just need somebody else to take you over the line. So I guess you can't fault them if they fire him if he doesn't win the league or the Champions League this season because it becomes the same thing over and over again. How many other things do you need, right? So no, it's going to be
Bro,
interesting to see.
you are just yaggering. You just want to laugh at us at the end of the
No,
season. That's all
no,
you.
I'm just trying to I'm just trying to I'm just trying to be as positive. But I think Fred, he's an excellent coach. Any
He
team, if
is.
you fire
He
Arteta,
is.
if you
Somebody
fire
just came
Arteta,
one
a lot
season.
of
He has
teams will
two
line up for him.
trophies. Enzo just
Yes,
came a season. He has two
fair.
trophies. You've been
No,
there
that's
for the
fair.
past 4 seasons.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right.
Somebody just came last season. He won three preseason trophies. So what are you talking about? Preseason
All right.
trophies.
All right.
Hat
All
trick in
right. All right.
preseason.
It's fair. Fair. All that is fair. But let's see. Let's see how it goes. It's gonna be interesting to see. Looks like Fred is fed up. Okay, let's move on. Manchester City. They finished third again. They will probably be the most disappointing team out of all of them. Man City feels like they. I've never seen a team lose a game the most freakish way possible. Like they lose games that you kind of don't understand. Like how did they lose this game? Or they were in the spot in the league where they lost like 3 or 4 in a row against teams that they were supposed to beat. But and it's crazy how it's always happens that at the end of the season, when it comes to April and May, those guys turn something on and they finish the season on a high. Even though we know that they lost in the FA Cup, but they still had a good run to end of the season. They signed, like Fred mentioned earlier, and it's as weird as it is. Rodri just seems to be the most important player in the history of football because it seems like when he's not there, all of a sudden everything just collapses. I know they lost De Bruyne, which he's been one of their he's probably their best player for the longest time. Haaland, people talked about him having a down season, and he scored 20 plus goals in the league, right? So, Yaga, what do you think about Manchester City's season coming up? Because they are not being spoken about as much as everybody else. And I think that's a very, very dangerous position to be. And it benefits them because we have to remember they are still won the league 4 years in a row. And they still have an excellent squad. They still have an excellent coach. They made some very, very good signings that people are not talking about. That Turkey signing is up there with one of the best value buys anywhere in the world, right? They got a new defense. They had midfielders that they signed. Marmoush is coming in the full season. Yeah, what do you think about Man City's season coming up? Because I actually find them very interesting in terms of them possibly winning the league again.
Yeah, I mean, Manchester City is always going to be Manchester City, right? They have a coach in Guardiola. I think the issue of last year was, when you get used to something for far too long, right? You get tired of it. So I think that's what happened, and I think that will be a reality check for Pep Guardiola. So I think he's going to tweak a little, some things a little bit, and we have to that definitely count that in. I think they would have a great season out per usual. As far as winning the league, highly possible because, as you said, they still have Ellen Haaland. I think Rodri is injured. I think so. I think Rodri is injured.
until
So
September.
that to September. Okay, so that's not too long. But then that because that can actually make the season look a little bit shaky. Because what before after international break, right? So that'll be what 6 7 games in already. Now, if they can win those games without him until he gets back, hey, they can definitely win the. I think they will win the league. If this is if Rodri can get back before if they can accumulate points before he gets back, they can definitely win the league. I think we just forgotten about City all of a sudden just because of one season. But City is
Yeah.
still City, and they'll definitely do it. They'll definitely have a great season for sure. They'll definitely have a great
Right.
season.
Actually, let me go to Derek. What do you think? It looks like you were in agreement, especially with the things I was saying about Man City. What do you think about them
Yeah,
this
yeah,
season?
I'm totally in agreement with everything that Yaga said about City. I think it's a team that maybe we're not really talking about. They did their signings really early, and so it feels like they're not even in the conversation. Well, because they got the job done very early. City is one of those teams where I I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like a very tiring place to be. if you're a player. And I feel like that overwork sometimes is what eventually leads them into, they're not really hitting the levels that they want to hit at some point. For me, I think that they probably have the highest potential to win the league this season. In my opinion, I think they're really up there. You mentioned some of the new signings that they've gotten. I think that those are really exciting players, and we're going to see a much improved version of City. I think they're going to be more resilient. I don't think they're going to go on a losing streak like we had last. I think they figured out how to do it without Rodri, and now if it happens again, they have the right people to actually get the work done. And so I place them really high up there. Yep.
Let me ask you and Yago, because all you guys are optimistic. What does that Club World Cup loss to Al Hilal do to coming up the season? Was it just end of the season, everybody's tired, or is it a concern, or is it just they starting fresh? Because that loss just felt like every loss that they had last season. The Palace loss in the FA Cup final felt the same. Losing that Sporting Lisbon game that they lost, it just felt like every loss that they had during the season is just still there. Was there any concern about that loss with Al Hilal?
No, not particularly. I think the only reason why a lot of people were surprised was because when they started the Club World Cup, they were scoring teams 6-0, 5-0. So people expected the old City back, right? So I think when Al Ali won the game, it was like kind of a surprise. But come on, man. I don't think that changes anything. I personally don't think so. It's just one of those games. Yeah, they lost it, but that doesn't change the whole trajectory of City because they were winning 5-6, and nobody said anything when they were winning. And all of a sudden, they lost against Al
Right.
Ali and everybody. And I think the manner in which they lost, you know what I'm trying to say? Al Ali scored, they
Right.
equalized, they came out, and I
Al.
think that's just it. But come on, please. Come on.
I
Let's
got
not
the wrong.
factor that in.
Sorry, it's Al Ali, not Al Hilal. I got the wrong Al. Derek, what do you think? Before I go, is it Al Hilal that they lost to, or Al Ali?
Yeah,
Al
that's a
Hilal. Yeah, so I
Koulibaly's
was
team.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think that makes a difference. I really don't think that they went in there feeling like they have to win. I think some teams had more to prove, i.e. Chelsea and PSG, and it just panned out that way. But it has no real reflection on the City team. No, I don't believe so.
And I also think with the Club World Cup, right? I think when it got to the latter stages, that's when teams realized, you know what, this is getting interesting, right? That's when the teams wanted to win. So I think prior to round of 16 or quarterfinals is when teams started feeling like, you know what, yeah, listen, let's win this thing because it's going to be for the next 4 years and whatnot. That's when they started taking it serious. But during the group stages, I don't think most of the top teams took it serious up until that point. So I think, come on, let's not factor that in, man. City is always going to be City. They're going to have a great season. That shouldn't change anything.
Sams, what do you think about City chances?
Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
My fault. But yeah, just like what Yaga said, City is still City. When you have a coach like Pep, and then also too, we can't forget that they added Pep from Jurgen Klopp. So he brings a whole different dynamic to the coaching staff. However, my biggest question that I guess concern that I have for Man City is how they are able to get the best out of Turkey. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right.
Check.
I think that whatever formation that they finally decide to use, it needs to fit him and bring the best out of him. I think their title season depends on him, honestly, because Holland is going to score his goals, and then they finally solved their outside back situation with that guy from Algeria. So bringing in Turkey and making sure that like the formation fits him, I think they're gonna do well. And I think Pep likes the fact that they are not like the talked about team.
Yep, yep, yep.
Once it comes in December, I wouldn't be shocked if City is
You got a
actually
tough.
at the
Hmm.
top of the league. You get
Yeah.
me?
Yeah,
But I think right now in Pep's career, I don't think he cares about the Premier League anymore. I think he wants to finish out his career at City with a Champions League and just move on. But I think City is still gonna be it's still gonna finish top four, if not win the league.
What do you think? Manchester City, your
They
nemesis.
still they still have Edison, right?
Some not know what
Still
kind of
have
was.
they still have Edison, and ever since Kyle Walker also left, they haven't got any proper right back. And Rodri is not going to be the same as he used to be, even if he comes back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and now, how the Grealish is leaving, Duku will not give you the level that De Bruyne and then this Algerian guy who left, forgotten his name.
Ares?
Maris.
Yes, they were giving Pep. So it's gonna be the same as last season, unless I don't know if he will do more signings because they move with their wings a lot. They move with their wings. Now you don't have proper right back. You don't have Rodri in your midfield again. You don't have De Bruyne in your team. Even last season, he didn't play most of their games, but you still need that one that will give that magic pass. And Nathan Aki too has not been fit for the past season. And the other guy, what is his name?
Akanji.
Akanji too, he's not consistent to me. He and Ruben Diaz. So I think Pep will, like Sim says, Pep will focus more on the Champions League than the EPL.
Okay.
I don't see them that much in the EPL.
In the Premier League. Okay. Okay. I think that's fair, and I still think they're a very good team and they're very dangerous. But we'll see how it unfolds. Okay,
They still
next
have
team
your
up,
favorite
fourth
goalkeeper in the
place.
post.
I thought he was leaving, but I don't know what happened. But we'll see. Anyway,
I don't got. Mind you, they got Trafford back in the team though, so maybe that's the reason why they got
yes,
Trafford in there. And Trafford used to
yes,
be at
and he
City, so
could.
he's already used to the team already. So I
Yeah,
think
and
that's
I don't
that's
think they
that's why they
brought
brought
him
him
to be
in.
a backup, right?
No, I don't think
Because
so.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Because
Edison leaves. Because there's
yeah,
rumors.
probably benched because no, Ortega is gonna leave. Ortega is gonna
No, he
leave.
Right.
left. He left already.
Okay, so then Trafford is the second goalkeeper, but
That's
then
why they brought the transport guy. Yeah.
just to put pressure on what's his name, Edison, because Edison is
Yeah.
on and off, man.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He's mostly off, but we'll see. Moving on, fourth place team. Chelsea finished fourth last season, but ended up winning the Conference League. Just like City, they finished really well to nail that fourth position, winning the Conference League, and then this summer, as we mentioned before, beating all the best teams in the world and then beating the almighty PSG to become the first Club World Cup champion, where the crest is going to be right in the middle. I can't wait for mine to enter. Next recording, my jersey may be ready to show off. Derek, the team has, it's probably the best feeling Chelsea fans have had since 2021 Champions League, because everything, even from this preseason, we had a game today against Milan. Everything is so smooth. The last 2 days ago when we played Leverkusen, everything is so smooth. The team just feels like they're gelling together. The signings that they've made just fits. It feels a little bit like we may oversign a bit, but the two strikers that they've signed, Joao Pedro and Delap, have hit the ground running. Our winger Gittins today, very quick, very direct, very skillful. Right, Estevao is your classic Brazilian magician on the right side. We have almost double the position. I mean, the personnel in each position. My concern is still with the defense. We lost Colwell to the ACL injury. It looks like he's going to be out till March, right? So that right there is a concern. I already wanted a center back even before he got injured, right? And then today it looks like Chaloba also hurt his hamstring, so he could be out for a while as well. We know how Hughes James's injury history, right? So if he goes down, then we're very thin over there. Obviously, we brought in Hato as the left back, slash he can also play center back. Everything in the attack looks good to me, but defensively, I'm a little bit nervous. And the goalkeeper as well at a certain point, but I still think defensively, if we can get one center back, that is heads and shoulders above the rest. Because Colwell, Chaloba, Tosin, Badiashile, who else am I? They all feel like similar level to me. They all the same
Fofana.
tier. Fofana, who another guy who can't stay fit. So I even forgot about him. Right? They still feel like the same tier of defenders. If we can get a top guy to match up with any of those two guys or three guys in that central defense, because Cucurella has shown he's full. James has looked good in preseason, but even if he's out, Gusto has showed that he's recovered a bit of form this summer after having a bad end to the season. What are your expectations this season coming up? Because we are probably at the highest level that we've been for the last 4 years.
Yeah, no, I think Chelsea is probably, in my opinion, the most promising team. As in, everybody's expecting us to do something way different from what they've seen. And so I think that's exciting. Like you already said, this is probably some of the better feelings that we have had over a very long time. A key thing coming out of last season was number one, I think Enzo has showed us that he has what it takes from a tactical standpoint to be able to set up teams to go compete. So that he has crossed that bar. Like the second aspect of that was how do we get these young players to stop playing like real adults and then stay in? There's a lot of indiscipline problems, aka Jackson and stuff like that. I feel like this is a cleaned up version of Chelsea 2.0, ready to go out there and then go fight. Personally, I feel like if we're not faced with too many injuries, Chelsea can compete at the very highest level this year. I just hope that injuries does not become the thing, and already we're seeing signs of it. I don't feel too good about the fact that we had an extended last season, because now I feel like maybe injuries become something that we definitely are going to face because they've had a really long season, not enough breaks. If a key player falls out, say like a Cole Palmer, gets injured or somebody that is, then it almost feels like Chelsea is a basic team again. And so I really hope that all of those negatives don't show up and unravel the team. But I have very good feelings about the team. I like the fact that we have great options forward. We're not going to be crying about missed big chances anymore because the two that we have, Delap and Joao Pedro, don't look like people who miss big chances, right? And so overall, I think that it's a really strong side. I think it's going to be a very nice team to watch, and I feel very excited about the Chelsea team for sure.
Fred, thoughts on your London rivals and how cooking
First,
recently?
first of all, congratulations to you guys for
Thank
winning
you very much.
the World
I would
Cup
like to put it out
champions.
there that a few years ago, Fred said that we won't win a trophy for the next 10 years. And it didn't
Yeah,
work.
so
But Fred, go ahead,
congratulations
man.
to your team. I mean, before the season, Chelsea was making crazy signings. Everybody was talking about it, which not knowing they were not having a good coach. They were having Pochettino, but ever since they brought in Enzo, things turned around. At the to the end of the season, they speed up to get into the top four, not the 16th position as some team did. But we have to give some credit to them for moving
I think
forward.
he's talking about Spurs.
Yeah, so we have to give them credit for doing that. And now they've they've added attacking players to their team. The lab and then uh Juan Pedro from Brighton.
Joao Pedro, yeah.
Yeah, so this season, honestly, I'm scared of Chelsea. I need to be honest. I'm scared of Chelsea because all their players run throughout the game. You don't see, you don't see one player. Relaxing in the game. You don't see one. That's why they are kicking the lazy players out of the team. Jackson, Madueke, and the other guys. Because Chelsea did all these crazy signings last season. We were talking about why they signing these young players, why they buy, not knowing they were cooking.
Yeah, there's method.
But trust me, they're gonna have a fantastic season coming. At least for the top three, they will be in the top three.
We'll
I mean,
save
this
that. We'll
season.
save that prediction at the end.
Oh
We'll
yeah,
save
save that.
prediction, Fred. Yeah.
United will be somewhere, so
Fred,
don't worry
we'll come
about
back.
it. There.
We'll come back and then you give us at the end of this, we'll do the top six predictions. Save it. Hey, Sim, what do you think about Chelsea?
About Chelsea, I mean, I think Chelsea is, they're just like one of those teams that I feel like, despite all the youth that they have, they lack that real leadership in their squad. Because again, like we saw, like during like the preseason, the way Jackson was acting and how angry Palmer, got at him. I just
That was
don't.
2 years ago, by the way. That was under Pochettino.
No. Like this preseason, like how like the way Cole kept getting frustrated at Palmer for not passing him the ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Okay,
just
yeah.
feel like that team just lacks real leadership.
Is that passion though, than lack of leadership?
I mean, obviously there's passion, but it's just like I don't know. They just don't seem like a serious team to me, and they may prove me wrong because it's just my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Okay, no,
But
that's fair.
but I don't have the biggest hope for Chelsea. Probably finish like, like top six or something like that. But I don't think it is gonna be one of those seasons. And like I said a couple of days earlier, Everybody's gonna start screaming in the chat like, "Oh, we want this guy out" and everything. It's gonna be one of those seasons again. So I don't have high hopes for Chelsea this season.
Okay, what is Sims? We were recording this. I can't wait to rub it in your face. But Yaga, what are your thoughts about your other team, Chelsea? Because you know it's your second team.
Chelsea, yeah, I mean, Chelsea looks like a serious team to me. They definitely do look like a serious team to me. However, like as you pointed out, the defense is what I have an issue with. The defense is not that strong. But then most teams don't have strong defenders. They have decent defenders, right? So if it's been working for some time now, from the latter stages of last season up until now, it's been working pretty well. So I think the team works together, and I think that's where Chelsea is Chelsea's stronghold is, right? You guys work together. If you guys can get a defender, but I don't know who's on the market that could change anything at this point. So if you guys can keep the same whatever, and then they can stay fit, and Sanchez is not on off days most of the time, I think you guys have a shot as well. Chelsea looks, the midfield is strong. The attack, you have options. You still want to even add a few, whatever. If you bring in Xavi Simons, you bring in Garnacho, that's squad depth as well. So because I think every position you guys have more than one, like two players in every position and two solid players. So I think Chelsea's gonna have a good season. I think so. I think they're gonna have a good season. Maresca is doing an amazing job. The players have all bought into the idea, and that's very, very important. Because if you have a team and the coach is always talking and then they don't buy into the idea, it doesn't work. And I think your players have the Enzo Fernandez Casado partnership is working great, man. I didn't think it was gonna work that great. It's working great. That over 20 million y'all spent, it's working, bro. It's working.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, kudos to you guys, and I'm expecting big things from you guys.
Sounds good.
I'll say something real quick to add to what Yaga had said. The thing that I sometimes get surprised with about Chelsea is when we win, it feels easy. That's shock. I feel like when Chelsea wins so easily, I start to doubt, is it the other team is really bad or we played a very good game? That's the
Probably
part
the
that
last 88
sometimes makes
minutes
me,
messed you up, Derek. I think the
you
struggle.
The
know,
system, man. Marissa's system
because
is working crazy.
even today with AC Milan, look at this game. What, 4-1? AC Milan beat Liverpool earlier 4-2 preseason.
That was
Yeah, I
a
mean,
Milan team B though.
yeah, but how,
But
see,
the point I'm trying to make is when Chelsea wins games, it feels too easy to me. That makes me feel like, was this luck? Like, what are we doing? Because
no, I don't think it's luck.
I'm
Yeah, you
not
can't be
seeing
lucky
something.
for the last 8 years. They
The
lost to
secret
teams
That's
is
the
like
thing.
the secret is
And
the
one
players
thing,
like the coach.
I forgot to add, man. I forgot to add this. You guys are back in the Champions League. Whenever Chelsea's in the Champions League, semifinals, finals. That's most of the time, right? Ever since Mourinho came, it's either semifinals, finals. So hey, you guys can win that as well, man. I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. You guys can win that as well.
all right.
Because when Chelsea's in the
We
Champions
almost
League,
out of
it's a problem. I'm
we
just
almost
being
out of
honest. There's
time.
nothing to hate.
We're
Today
almost
I've
out
been
of time. So
positive,
let's
right?
get no, but that's fair. That's fair.
I've been
I don't
positive
want to
to
get
every
into the
team,
whole.
but then someone is waiting for the last team to go off.
Wait. All right.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's get to the last one. Let's get to the last team. And I don't want this to go over, but we're talking. So the last team that we're gonna cover, obviously, is the mighty Manchester United. They finished team in the league, but the summer has been really good to them. Derek came out early morning, 8 a.m., telling us he's shaking in his dreams because Manchester United is cooking in the market. You guys got Cunha, you guys got Mbuemo, Sesko, Who else am I missing? The front three is
Carlos
brand new.
Beliba.
It's
Beliba is
renovated.
coming.
But yes, believe there's rumors of Beliba coming. The front three is renovated. It's as renovated. Yaga is all vibes. Yaga is showing me all these signings that are coming. Yaga took me on a tour of the new training facility. My boy gave me a personalized tour of the new facility. Everything is going up big time at United. Because if we had this episode a month ago and Buemo was being struggled to be signed, it just seemed like nothing was happening, and all of a sudden, boom,
50
signing
days.
Buemo,
50 days.
signing Sesko, Baliba is linked, Donnarumma is linked. Yaga, you gotta give your Sir Jim his credit.
Oh yeah,
The
for sure, for
guy
sure, for
is
sure.
putting stuff where you want, because we know that this Sesko thing, you've been talking about Sesko for the last 2 years, and he finally plays for your team now. Your front three, that was the biggest problem. It's all brand new, and I will say this. I will be honest. I doubt players, most players that are coming into the league, because a lot of people have flopped. If you can show me that you can do it in the league, I'm sold. And what United did is they bought players that have done it in the league. So that just shows that it's easy to translate. There's no, obviously, and Mbuemo's moving to a new team. Cunha's been moving to a new team, right? So there's going to be some learning there, but they know the league. They dominated the league. And Mbuemo had 20 goals and 10 assists or something, which is ridiculous. And then Cunha also had an excellent season, all in the league. We're not looking at Portugal or France or something where it's like we're trying to figure out will it work. So that I like. They put a lot of goals in the team where they were struggling. What do you think about these signings that are coming in this season coming up and Amorim's second season? Because it's now or never for Amorim, because last season was horrible.
Yeah, okay. I said Ineos have done a great job as far as getting these players in. I wasn't even sure they were gonna get them. But they were done, as you said, right? They've done amazing. I still feel like we need some signings, right? As far as our midfield, if I'm being honest with you, the midfield is very leaky. We don't have any Casado type player. Right, Mainu is good on the ball. He's not good off the ball. Bruno, in this case, is now the issue here is now you cannot play Bruno as a 10 anymore. So he has to drop deep. Bruno is very indisciplined when he's playing, deep on the pitch. Ugarte is indisciplined as well. So if we could get that midfield player, I think we're in for a shot. And if we can get Donnarumma in, trust me, we can get into the top four. That's what I think. Right now, yes, the attack looks good because last season, Haaland, Garnacho, and Zegzi didn't even score 20 goals, all three together. So think about it. If you could bring in Mbuemo and Cunha, who had almost 40 goals, that's a huge change. It's just that I think that the midfield we need to get a defensive midfielder if we can, because I think the issue here is we've not even sold anyone, so it becomes difficult. We spent over 200 million. We spent almost 300 million, so you can't bring in another guy that is gonna cost you over 120. So I don't see the Baliba happening. I'm just hopeful it happens, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But if we could get Donnarumma in, at least I know that my goalkeeper is not too shaky or on serious like as Onana is. But they've done great. It's a good feeling around the club. If you work, because I'm always watching the MUTV, it's a good feeling when the players, there's a camaraderie among the players. I've not seen that in a long time. I've not seen that in a long time. So it feels different from top to down. The executives, I know who our COO is. I know who the chief is. Like, I didn't know this. I didn't know we had a CEO back then. But now Ineos has structured everything. We have Vivo from Chelsea. He did pretty good at Chelsea. He only left because he wanted to do everything, control everything. But that's why you guys let him go. But he's a good guy. We have uh Wilcox from Southampton. He's very, very good sporting director. So I think everything is structured now. It feels good. It feels good. I think we're definitely gonna get back in the top six, which is pretty decent because as compared to last season, that was disastrous. I like what Sir Jim is doing. I've been very critical of him. Ineos is doing good, and the feeling is good. Everything feels good. So I'm hopeful that we get in the top six.
Fred, let me come to you real quick. What are your thoughts about United? You cannot deny that they have made some very good signings this summer.
Well, United have done great signings about their forward, not the whole team. They still have the defense, which have Maguire, Euro, and then Dalot, and what is the Moroccan guy name?
Mazarari.
Mazraoui.
Yes. So even though United is building team under, which is not going to be easy for any team meeting them this season, they're going to be underdogs, but they're going to be very good. I have to be honest. Let's put Yagren aside. Amorin is building a team, which is like we don't focus on them. So there is no pressure on them now. There is no pressure on them. He's only worried about the midfield and the goalkeeper. That's their two weakness in the team now. Because Casemiro cannot run as Casemiro he used to be. Ugarte too has been on and off. Like Yaga said, Menu is good on the ball, but off the ball you can't find him anywhere. So I don't know when Carlos Baliba is coming, but let's write that one off this season and wait for maybe January transfer or so. But aside that, I think the attacking is very sharp. You have Bruno behind Mbuemo, Cunha, and then Zesco is crazy, honestly. And you have Ahmed too, Ahmed behind them. I think they're going to have fantastic season, maybe on the fifth or on the sixth position this season. Maybe.
And you
So
guys got to watch out for Zegzi. Zegzi is gonna have a great season.
okay,
Clock
but
that.
actually, you know what? Just to put before I go to Derek, I'm very interested in seeing how Amorim is going to put these players together because I was watching the preseason. It's like, how are they going to fit these guys in? Because I'm a huge fan of Bruno, and I think that he needs to play at the 10 to get the best out of him. But it looks like if you're playing Sesko, Mbuemo, and Cunha, Bruno's going to play like at the 8, and it's like I'm not sure how that's gonna work. It looks like preseason he played on the right wing because right wing back, right? But he's still a left-footed guy, so he always has to cut in. So you lose that width, right, to like get forward and get crosses in like a Victor Moses or whoever used to do as a right wing back. I'm very interested to see how they're going to play because I don't know how effective Bruno is going to be if he's playing as a natural box-to-box center mid versus that attacking midfielder where he's been very good for the last few years. So I'm interested in seeing if Amorim is going to force all his best players on the field and then figure it out, or is he just going to be like, I may not be able to play all my guys, and I just have to put the players at their right position. So that's the one thing that I'm kind of looking at to see how he's going to do it. But the team looks good for sure. Derek, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I think for me, I'm actually more scared of a Manchester United attacking team. The three they have up front, for me, I don't see a better combination of that in any other team in the league today. That's just my assessment. As to how that pans out, I think there's going to be some time where the players have to adapt and gel into the whole Man U culture because let's remember, Ronaldo, there's just some players that have come back and said that there's still some issues going on in the team that perhaps, even though it's off the field, it tends to seep into the real game and then sometimes it affects them. I think Manchester United is probably going to make it in the top 5, top 6 for sure. And then that becomes what gives them the impetus to go compete later. They don't have European football, I suppose. Do you? You don't have so then
Not really. Not,
I feel like this is their time, this is their opportunity to like grind out games, grind out wins, don't let the small teams bully you, win those small games, and then in the big games you show up and then compete. I'd love to see Man U compete at the highest level so we have a very competitive league. So I think they're going to do well, top 6, top 5.
Sims, wrap it up real quick. What are your thoughts about your rivals?
Yeah, Derek definitely said it all. I believe that United just has to fix like, the front office issue and the culture. I think once they fix that with the players that they have, they should do well. I definitely have them finishing like top 6, top 7, but yeah, it's not going to be anything different for me.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with everybody's top 6. Yaga, I'll go to you first. Give us your top 6 for the end of the season.
my top 6: Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. You said top 6, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult, man. Well, I said Arsenal, right? Arsenal, or Man City. I think Man City is gonna be second. Third is gonna be Liverpool. You know what? Third's gonna be Liverpool. Fourth is gonna be Chelsea. Fifth, fifth. I think we are underestimating Spurs. I think Spurs is gonna have a good season. I think they're gonna be the surprising part. Fifth, and then sixth, I'll give it to United. You got
Sims,
it?
what do you think? Yep.
Yeah, for me, number 1 is going to be Liverpool. Number 2 is Arsenal. 3 is City. 4th is Chelsea. 5th is Newcastle. And then 6 is Tottenham.
Okay, Fred.
All right. Chelsea first, Liverpool second, Arsenal third, then Man City, then Newcastle, then Spurs.
Yeah, I got Chelsea, Arsenal, City, Liverpool, United, Spurs.
Okay, and I'll go I'll go Chelsea with the league again. I think Chelsea. I think City. I think Arsenal, Liverpool. I'll go United fifth.
No,
And
no,
then I'll
Jeff, come again. Don't say you think. Just go straight. It
no,
looks
that's what
like you think. Just go
I'm going.
straight.
Say Chelsea.
It looks like
It's
you are guessing.
Chelsea.
Just go straight. Yeah.
Chelsea. It's Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, United, and Nas. Yes,
No,
no,
you're not sure, Jeff. Hit it.
yeah, Spurs. I guess that's gonna be my top 6.
You know what?
Oh,
You know the funny thing. The funny, interesting thing is it shows that it's gonna be a difficult season for every team. It's gonna be very competitive, bro. Because
yeah,
now I'm not sure if I put Chelsea at the right place or not, but it's just gonna be
Yeah,
competitive, bro.
yeah.
yeah.
And it was
I
difficult.
think if the extraneous things don't happen, right, like injuries, because a lot of factors that feed into the season overall, if everything stayed the same, then maybe we can be sure. But if anything, the smallest thing that changes could flip this thing around because these teams are so neck to neck that you can't really say, that for sure this team is going to, no matter what. That's the feeling I also have about this season.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Chelsea could win it, but if something goes wrong, we're done. Somebody else
It's
would
gonna be very
have
competitive
to.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
All
gonna
right.
be as easy as last season.
No, no, it's not. Never.
We'll see. We'll see that, and we wait to see what happens. But yeah, that's our episode. Thank you guys for joining. This is gonna be a very interesting season because it feels like it's open that any team can win it. So we'll see. We'll see how the season goes for everyone. So all right, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. The season starts in about 6 days or so. So the
Yeah,
excitement is back
6
in the air,
days.
and then we'll see. We'll see how the season goes, and we'll be back talking about all the things that happens, and we'll see. So thank you guys for watching. Catch you next time. Peace.
See you guys.
Peace.
Ciao.